Ladies and gentlemen, it's April 25th, 2025, and what a glorious, blessed day to all of you tuning in. Of course, this is islandproject.com and also AMTV, alternative media television, invented by you and me and all you amazing people around the world nearly 20 years ago. Think about it's pretty incredible, most notably in 2008 and '09. Coming on social media, inventing alternative media, and now in 2025, we've got every mainstream media broadcaster in the world who's gone from the mainstream media now into podcasting, which I was kind of ranting about yesterday, but that's not the point of this video. I've got a massive bombshell reveal. You'll hear it nowhere else, and I'm going to succinctly tell you exactly what Donald Trump will do in the coming days, weeks, and months, and what to prepare for here in the United States and worldwide, and most importantly, pivot, leverage, and profit here April 25th, 2025. Please like and share. So the first thing, let's just get to it. God bless and thank you for tuning in. My major prediction from yesterday on the beach came true within less than 24 hours. I announced that there would be a secret Ukrainian peace deal announced, and that's exactly what's happening today. Earlier this morning, I woke up about 5 or 6 a.m. in the mainstream media. Suddenly, I predicted it, suddenly, they're now calling for peace. Trump has a secret peace deal, and it's my exact prediction pretty much during the entire lockdown period. Of course, predicted the Ukraine invasion. I told you it was a fraud. It was basically a way that the Biden administration could extort all that money from the American people. At the end of the day, I told you Vladimir Putin would win. He would successfully annex the land. Then, through negotiations and the art of the deal, Putin would be allowed to keep the territory that he had conquered, and that would be a part of the peace agreement, and Ukraine would lose, and it was never about democracy or saving Ukrainian freedom or anything like that propaganda that we saw years ago. Remember all the Democrats putting Ukrainian flags in their yards as somehow because the media told them to, they were saving Ukraine with their taxpayer dollars. Well, all that has turned out to be an absolute gigantic fraud. And another major prediction, of course, has come true because Donald Trump is negotiating peace, just like I said, and it will include the land that, of course, Vladimir Putin has already annexed in the Crimean Peninsula, which will be recognized by the U.S. government and other very key ports and seaports like Sevastopol. So that's absolutely huge. Again, how did I know that? Very easy. All the information you're force-fed by the mainstream media is lies. I noticed that the rhetoric was really stepping up yesterday, which is how I knew we were close to the sudden announcement, because they were saying things like Trump was losing his mind and, oh my gosh, he's begging Vladimir Putin to stop the strikes in Kyiv, and there was some propaganda about that. So that's how we knew that today they'd actually be announcing the peace process, which is what they're announcing now. So it's breaking all across the news wires, AP, Associated Press, Reuters, etc. Exact prediction fulfilled. But that's actually really not the big story of the day, because I had another major revelation earlier this morning. I was taking a shower. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. So I'm going to explain exactly what Donald Trump's emergency warning roadmap is. And I encourage you to follow me on X at AMTV Media as well. Got about 78,000 followers there. So make sure you follow my official account. But this is exactly what Donald Trump's going to do. And this video doesn't even have to be long. You're not bullish enough. Trump's going to backtrack the tariffs significantly very, very soon. If he doesn't, the store shelves in America will be absolutely empty. There will be worse toilet paper runs. There will be no food, no water, no products, no toys, nothing in the United States if the tariffs stay at these very aggressive rates. So he's going to backtrack. And here's what you need to understand about that. It was always a ruse and optics. It's just a part of his negotiation tactics, and it's brilliant. He has the whole world eating out of the palm of his hands. Pure negotiation strategy. Then what he's going to do is light up the golden age. How is the Trump administration going to do that? Well, all U.S. American debt is about to be reset into a hyperinflation jubilee, and it'll be refinanced with worthless and scam 100-year, 50-year treasury bonds. So you heard me right. As my, let me turn that off real quick. Hold on one second. My refrigerator was beeping, and that's incredibly annoying, and I can't concentrate. So what Donald Trump is going to do, and again, you heard it here first. I've been talking about this for a while. Donald Trump is going to reset all the criminal debt in the United States into another Ponzi scheme scam. They're going to refinance all of the debt they can't pay back now into 50 and 100-year bonds. Worthless, scammed, not worth the paper it's printed on bonds. This is going to create a hyperinflationary jubilee in the United States, doing what? Moving us into the new system they always intended. Bitcoin skyrocketing, 95K today. New crypto Cesar, David Sachs. Donald Trump, all in crypto and Bitcoin. The entire establishment, Elon Musk and others, all in crypto and Bitcoin. Peter Thiel, all in crypto and Bitcoin. So the way they achieve this is actually very, very easy because the money isn't real anyways. Right now, we only have 30-year bonds. So when they reset it and start issuing 50 and 100-year bonds, and then Donald Trump backtracks on most of the tariffs. Instead of them being 150%, they'll be like 20% or 15% or whatever he decides. Again, it's all based on whatever he says and whatever negotiation tactic he is implementing on a day-to-day basis. So it's very easy to understand. Honestly, like, we're not going to go long in this video, but I just know that this is what they're going to do now. So let me repeat it. They're going to scam the American public again with 50 and 100-year treasury bonds, reset, refinance all the debt from the 30 years, okay? And that's going to light up the new golden age. And that's how they're going to accomplish it. And it's twofold. Not only does it get rid of and expunges all the debt because cheaper dollars that are declining are worth less, so it's easier to pay back the phony debt that they printed in the first place, it'll also push the hyperinflationary jubilee into where they want the American people to go. And where do they want the American people to go? Into the digital reset. Bitcoin, crypto, and the new system and the new established order, which I've been telling you about literally for several decades. So it's been my long-standing prediction, but this is what we know is going to happen next. Case in point, again, what's happening? Bitcoin, 95K, it's about to shock the world again. I think we're going to get a God candle. I think Bitcoin will be trading 200 to 300K by year end. Again, every prediction that I've ever made on this channel since 2008 and 09 has been fulfilled, including Ukraine. So let's look at this together. I want to just show you an article here. Because they're putting out a lot of fear-mongering right now that, oh, we might have more toilet paper scares, that the shelves are going to be empty, that we're not going to get our imports and exports, that, you know, Americans aren't going to have the vital goods and necessities that they need. Donald Trump's not going to allow that to happen. He's going to backtrack. So you need to understand this was just all optics. It was just all lies, just like usual. And that's not me blaming Trump. I'm just pointing out that the whole system is rigged and a scam. Like, do you not think that they can't just reset the debt into 100-year treasury bonds? I mean, in the future, your great-great-grandkids might be getting reset into 1,000-year treasury bonds, for all we know. It's a Ponzi scheme. The US dollar isn't backed by anything. It owns nothing. It's not redeemable by anything, and it's worthless debt. Just like the Ukraine war. Trillions spent. I don't know what the exact number is. What do we get in return? Nothing. The American people have literally gotten nothing in return. What did Putin get? The land he actually wanted. So that's been annexed. Trump is going to agree to it. And it was all a part of the geopolitical move. I always told you Ukraine was a proxy event for World War III and the greater wars with Israel, Iran, the Middle East specifically, and also Taiwan. Trump's also going to be visiting the Pope. And I guess the funeral is coming up as well. So that's going to be one big, optic arrangement, reality television show. I mean, you have to understand, too, this is all Hollywood. It's all starletting. It's all trolling. I mean, honestly, Trump's a genius. Have you seen the new hats? The 2032 hats? It's just trolling, guys. It's just meant to ruffle the feathers of the peasant class. Ruffle the lower classes. That's all it is. It's just trolling. So you have to understand what the tactics are being implemented. I've never been more confident. I mean, the great news is, as a result of Trump's exact roadmap, which I've just revealed to you, it assures hyperinflation. It assures the debt jubilee collapse. It assures 50-year, 100-year reset bonds. It ensures the Ponzi scheme. It'll weaken the dollar further. They're eventually going to cut rates, creating more hyperinflation, which is what I've always told you, which will be easier to pay back the worthless debt with cheaper dollars. So it's almost like they don't even have any debt. And then that forces the hand and the domino effect into the blockchain crypto revolution, which I've predicted and told you that they were always scamming you, which I've been proven correct about. That again, they were liars, that they didn't tell you the truth, but now they're on board. So just understand what's going on. It's actually a brilliant plan. It's going to send real estate soaring. It's going to send commodities soaring. Gold hasn't stopped, even though it's reached a new all-time high. Silver's incredibly undervalued. Gold mining stocks will continue to soar. America is absolutely going to transition into a feudal society, a massive wealth transfer, and then they release the safety net to all the peasants that they stole all the money from, because very, very few people will be rich. Anyone that owns one Bitcoin will be rich. Anyone that owns real estate outright with no bank debt is going to be rich. Anyone that owns gold or silver is rich. If you're in real assets at all during the hyperinflation Jubilee scam and the reset into the 50-year, 100-year bonds will be issued by the Trump administration, you will be rich. Everyone else saving in dollars will be poor. But the benefit of it is it'll be easier to pay back the debt. And that's what the U.S. government wants. So that's my big takeaway this morning. I don't really have a major update because to me, it's kind of boring. It's very obvious. We know what's happening. We know it's all an illusion. We know the whole system's lies. We understand the criminal fraud of the central bank. We know what Trump's going to do or any other president. And again, the Federal Reserve, which is not being ended at all, it's not like Trump's going to end the central bank, is going to do whatever they want, even if it's not Jerome Powell. So we are going to get the golden age, and this is what I want you to understand. Expect a super cycle, golden age, hyperinflationary debt jubilee pump. And all it takes is a little bit of the backtracking from the Trump administration. He's got his peace deal in Ukraine. He's negotiating in the Middle East and Taiwan. Backtracks on the tariffs. Then the central bank issues more debt. And they refinance it and re-engineer it into up to 100-year bonds. I want you to think about what a scam that is. And then it's over. Dollar officially collapses, which is what they want, and then sends the American sheeple into the Bitcoin revolution and cryptocurrency, new system, which is the stablecoins and all the things that they're developing. We see this overseas at the IMF, Christine Lagarde. They will have their stablecoin equivalent launched to the Eurozone by October, I think it is. So again, it's the same program as before. Exit the banks, get out of dollars, own Bitcoin, own crypto, own gold and silver, own real estate with no bank debt, panic out of USD. Bitcoin is set to skyrocket. The scam is going to continue in the United States. You have to understand this. And everything else is just optics and stupid polarization and, Donald Trump trolling and his sons trolling with their 2032 hats as if they're going to establish a dictatorship. Elon Musk retweeting it. It's all a bunch of trolling. That's all it is. I mean, look, Peter Thiel funded J.D. Vance and much of the Trump administration. Peter Thiel is a Bilderberger. He is literally a steering committee member, and he's the guy that funded Trump and Vance. So again, if you think that the deep state suddenly isn't in charge, you're not that smart. And I ain't even hating. I actually want the golden age. It's good for business. I want Trump to reset the debt into 100-year debts and obliterate the US dollar. I congratulate him on that. Continue the Ponzi scheme here in the United States. All fake, ridiculous entity at this point. Let it sink. We want the Bitcoin crypto revolution. This is how you get rich. So Donald Trump is all in. We're even seeing it with his blockchain investments as well. I made a major announcement with Trumpcoin. It was up like 60% that his top 20 hodlers are going to be invited to dinner. So just understand it is the future. Yeah, that's it. I'll do more videos, maybe more like studio podcast type stuff. But yeah, like you could literally watch the entire news the entire day and you won't get more valuable information, even though I kind of don't even care at this point. You can tell I don't even care. I know exactly what Donald Trump's going to do. I can see the scam, like read right through it. I understand everything that's going to happen. I mean, I was on the beach yesterday telling you about the secret peace deal to be revealed that's announced today. How do I know all this stuff? To me, it's boring. It's so boring because the media is so fraudulent. The mainstream media is so easy to decipher. It's so easy to understand the Hollywood reality television show that we're currently watching. It's all fake. It's all a bunch of hogwash. There's really not any kind of real change. And this is what you need to understand. It's like the wars are going to stop. There's a brutal war going on against Houthis, as I'm getting a call. Apologize about that. I forgot to turn on my do not disturb. Everyone tries to call me when I go on camera, like I'm going to pick up my freaking phone. I'm not picking up my phone right now, for crying out loud. So, yeah, a lot of you have asked too, like, why aren't you happy about this? Because America's collapsed. You do understand that, right? Like, again, you need to sail on the ark at this point, get super rich to deboard the United States. The United States is literally a criminal scam, hyperinflationary debt collapse jubilee is what it is. So everyone rallying, crying like they've saved something, you haven't saved anything. They're building a new system. Again, the people that fund all these politicians are the same people, a part of the freaking deep state, for crying out loud. These are facts. They're not opinions. So again, we understand where all of this is headed. It's kind of funny. I think God put me in a very unique position where I'm not even pleased about it. Like, yeah, Bitcoin's going to go 200-300K. That's guaranteed. RSR is going 1,000X. Crypto's the future. The whole United States government's being reset into it. All my predictions have come true. We know exactly what Trump is going to do. He's going to backtrack on his stupid tariffs here pretty quick. Because if he doesn't, there'd be empty store shelves. So unless he's going to send Americans into a depression, of course he's not going to do that. I mean, he wouldn't even do that just out of ego. We know Donald Trump's going to make the golden age possible. So absolutely there's going to be a hyperinflationary collapse in the United States. It's the death of the dollar. It is the death funeral parlor doornail. Bitcoin soars, crypto soars, real assets continue to soar, and then they just get rid of the stupid USD. It's that easy, guys. They just create it from nothing. Issue a couple more phony 100-year, 50-year bonds, reset the 30-year into the 50-year, 100 years, slam interest rate lower, and create more hyperinflation, and then enter us into the technocracy, AI superclass robotics singularity age. It's so obvious. How do Americans not get this? So anyways, maybe this is like a warm-up video today. You know, I've been a little off my game. I thank you for all your prayers. I've gotten a lot of messages too. Thank you very much. Praying for little baby Faith there. Thank you. I appreciate your prayers. So I'm just kind of like saying that publicly. But, you know, at 43 years old, after seeing basically everything I predicted come true, like everything, literally every prediction from 2008-09, like it sounds cocky, but I literally invented alternative media television in 08 and 09. I invented the freaking thing, for crying out loud. So at this point, our attention should not be focused on the past and what we already know to be truth. Like, why focus on what we've already dominated in? Even Bitcoin is old news, and it's an old freaking story. Like, it's going to go to 13 trillion, according to, no, not 13 trillion. It's going to go to 13 million a coin, according to Michael Saylor. Boring, old school news. I don't even think I'll celebrate once it hits 13 million. I mean, who even cares? Of course, we'll be more and more rich. We got everything right, but who cares? It's so obvious. The American people are so dumbed down. I've never seen the stupidity level at this high level, ever. And it's absolutely astonishing that the American people have been duped again. You know how easy it would be to reinforce our freedom and liberty? I was even tweeting this yesterday on X, and I'll close with this. You could bring the entire travel industry to its knees if every American requested a pat down, which is your constitutional right at an airport. You understand that, right? There's not enough agents to pat everyone down. So if every person at every airport in the United States requested their pat down, which is a constitutional right, because they can't illegally search and seize you, and they can't force you into a cancerous radiation machine and x-ray machines, which raises scientifically, based on what I've researched, your cancer risk 10 times. Same thing with the dentist. I know that's a fact because I researched that with my own dentist, which I had to hire a different one because they wouldn't allow me to get my teeth cleaned. Do you remember that story? All you have to do is not comply. So I want you to think about this. If every American asked for a pat down, all international travel would halt, the entire U.S. economy would collapse, hundreds of billions of dollars would evaporate from all the airlines, panic would set in, and it would all be civil disobedience. But the American people don't understand that they have a right to say no. They don't understand that their compliance is why they're slaves. They seriously don't get it. Same thing in 2020, just say no. I have a friend here in Hawaii, he's got a gym. The authorities showed up and wanted to close it down in 2020. You know what everyone did? Got in their face and said there's going to be a problem and cocked the you-know-what and pointed it their direction. Guess what? The gym stayed open. But again, the American people are super, super weak. Now they think they're being saved by the Bilderbergers and the steering committee. It's hilarious. There probably will be 2032 Trump and MAGA, but it'll be J.D. Vance, funded by Thiel, the steering committee, and the Bilderberg group. Like, literally, guys, are people just dumb? I think that they might be. So, my predictions are coming true. We're growing wealth. That's all exciting. But I think the reason why I'm upset is because the things I care about the most, freedom in America, is dying. And I don't think the American people realize this. Again, you're not going back to the old system, guys. They're building a super state. You do understand that. All-seeing eye, Illuminati, surveillance, trackable, controllable, all of your freedom has already been erased. You and your family are already illegally searched and seized on a daily basis. They track all your cell phones, all of your freaking data, and the American people don't care. They absolutely don't care. And you're at constant, infinite military-industrial complex war, and it will not end. And now people worship false idols and false gods, and they think their latest politician you can't trust is there to save them or protect them. You are so wrong. Just like everyone was wrong before when I predicted Bitcoin, and they called it a scam, and now it's the future of money and technology. And it is literally the reset, for crying out loud. The American people are so easy to dupe and manipulate. Honestly, it sickens me. So, MAGA, Trump 2032. Let's establish the dictatorship, for crying out loud. Why not? Why not? Go for it, guys. I bet that'll be some really good freedom for all of you. So, anyways, I'm focused on better and bigger things, quite frankly. My father and I, we've been working our butts off, obviously, with our project. We've had some major announcements. Why we built the whole thing. Built the whole thing for freedom because, again, it takes, honestly, the island project to establish America, the new America. That's what it's taken. It's taken normal, regular people, Christian, faith-first leading men and women to establish new America, new freedom, and new liberty. And I honestly can't sit on camera with a straight face and pretend that I think what's happening in America is good. It's not. It's not good at all. It's the worst news possible. Worst news possible. And everyone's cheering it on. So they're cheering on their own slavery. They're cheering on the wealth transfer. They're cheering on the Bilderbergs. They're cheering on the steering committee. Let's establish the dictatorship. You guys are, like, not you, but the American people are out of their freaking minds. And still people tell me Bitcoin's a scam. I was sitting at a bar the other day having a steak dinner. And I was briefly overhearing a conversation about crypto. And I heard well, that's just a total scam. I'm like, yeah, real scam. Everyone in it's rich. As I get into my Lambo and like drive down Waikiki, for crying out loud. These people know not what they talk about. The American people are brainwashed sheep. Pigs oinking their way to slaughter is what they are. And it pisses me off. I mean, what also pisses me off too is just the power of the deception. The power, it's like a hex has been placed on the American people. Have you noticed this? Just total zombies ever since 2020. They can't think for themselves. No critical thinking, no outside the box thinking. They can't think of alternatives. They don't understand their power. Like I just used the example about the airports. It would be so easy to ground every flight in Gandhi, Jesus-like fashion. It would force aggression by the state, which would then prove their real tyranny. That would ignite a revolution in the United States, for crying out loud. But, all people have to do is go no and request it, but they won't. They won't. They love their compliance. It's just like these real IDs. Everyone's complaining about it, but you ain't saying no. That's the point. You've accepted the tyranny. We don't accept any of it. We do not comply. We've built our own wealth. The digital Noah's Ark, commanded by God. We own our own real estate. No bank debt. We aren't beholden to the scam of debt and banks and tyranny. All you have to do is say no. And we need more people like you to join forces and fight back and take your power back, for crying out loud, because the future, honestly, of America and, this new system is not, it's bleak, man. It is absolutely bleak. And by the time it's all said and done by 2030, even if you don't believe me now, you will then. Too late. That's what frustrates me the most. Most people don't believe me until 10 years later, just like Bitcoin. Everyone thought I was a freak because I recommended Bitcoin. I'm insane. He's out of his mind. Bitcoin's a scam. The government's going to ban it. Blah, 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 blah. I get proven right 10 years later, 15 years later. So I know when I sit on camera today and I tell you it's the death doornail of America, most of you don't want to hear that, but in 10 years, by 2030, I'll be proven correct. Most will be slaves in the United States on universal basic income, being policed by a bunch of freaking artificial intelligence robots in your homes. And you're going to wonder why everyone you know is on UBI is a slave. Well, don't come crying to me in 2030. So again, it pisses me off. And honestly, a whole media system has just been hijacked at this point. I was even watching an interview with Peter Thiel and that other pontificator. Who's his name? It was just on YouTube or whatever. I can't think of his name, but it's, I don't know. He's the academic guy that's had all these mental breakdowns and other things like that. People seem to like him, but I can't even remember his name, so help me out. But he was they're sitting there pontificating like a bunch of dicks, like using all these fancy words and stuff. And Thiel was there like saying, well, a lot of people, they think it's like the Illuminati and stuff, but there's nothing, that's like the witch trials. Like, we're good, we're here for good. The Bilderbergs are here to help all y'all. And they're just pontificating like a bunch of freaking Harvard intellectuals or something. It's disgusting. It's freaking disgusting. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my piece today. I hope I made my point, because I don't think I made my point clearly. I actually don't think people understand what I'm saying. I hope that you do. But I could have kept this video to 2 minutes. So I'm going to succinctly close with the conclusion, probably around 2 minutes, and then just end. And if you didn't watch anything else, these are my last closing comments. Trump will backtrack on the tariffs. Peace is being declared, as I predicted, in Ukraine. Putin will keep his land. Ukraine probably won't even join NATO at this point. That's 50-50. It's all for negotiation for the war in Iran, in Israel, and Taiwan, and China. And then in addition to that, the main idea that I presented in this video is that once Trump backtracks on his fake negotiating ploy BS, art of the deal, whatever craft he came up with, right, his reality Hollywood television show appearance, once they do that, markets will be supported by that. It'll be good for all these risk assets and anything out of the dollar. And the way Trump will ensure the golden age is by rigging another deep state criminal scam, debt jubilee reset, with all the trillions of waste from everything else they've spent on, just like Ukraine, into 50, 100-year bonds that then guarantee to set up your children for slavery. Conclusion. What do? Same thing I've recommended for 15 years. I've made all of you freaking rich. And it's what you should be doing now. Getting an island project, owning real assets, getting out of debt, no bank debt. In addition to that, you should own gold and silver and other commodities. Stock up on food and water and defenses. You should be buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies aggressively like RSR. That's how you're going to make it. So instead of, a lot of people don't like to hear what I have to say sometimes because it rocks their paradigm, but then later on they're like, yeah, how did you know that, Christopher? Yeah, you were right about that. I guess the US government isn't going to ban Bitcoin. They love it now. They're going to shock buy it. Trump established a new crypto czar. Oh, it's a Bitcoin country now. Trump calls himself the Bitcoin king. Instead of waiting around for my 10-year predictions that all come true, because God tells me, why don't you just take my freaking advice? Which I know many of you have. So anyways, I love you. Not financial advice, just the dude that invented alternative media television, the digital Noah's Ark, the first to successfully fractionalize and tokenize now soon to be 6 properties with no bank debt. Our latest acquisition at Trump Tower, serendipitously out in Waikiki. Thailand comes next, then our 13 colonies, our 13 international properties will be tokenized 1,000x on our multi-billion-dollar blockchain. Our portfolio is just going to grow over time as a legacy asset. It's going to be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And again, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. Larry Fink and BlackRock and the rest of Wall Street are going to come in and tokenize everything, including the stock market, making us all even more rich. But America's freedom, done. America, finished. Doornail in the coffin. Borders will be opened. Merger with Canada. Taking of Greenland, other shenanigans like that, setting up the 10 kingdoms, end times, tribulation, and return of Christ. It's the same message. I love you. Jesus Christ is King. I appreciate you all. Thank you. This is my warm-up video. I'll do more content. Sometimes I need to speak and air out my thoughts so that I can more concisely deliver the message, which I believe is so important for us all to consider, but more importantly, to take action on. So that's what's going to happen. Expect the Ponzi scheme scam of the United States to continue. And you're welcome for getting all these predictions correct, just like Ukraine. Peace will be declared imminently. Everything you read in the papers and the media and social media now is highly controlled, highly censored, and completely, utterly fake, just like your politicians and your government, which you can never, ever trust, ever. Any of these people in power, you can't trust them. But the American people think they're being saved now by the Bilderbergs and the steering committee. Hilarious. God bless you. Jesus Christ is King. By the way, do any of you work for the Bilderbergs or steering committee? I don't. My dad doesn't. But the people in power now, yeah, they do, and they're funded by